and I'm coming to you today from my locals community with your daily dose of business inspiration. Come on over and join me at askcharlyleetham.locals.com. You can join the community for free. You can become a supporter and contribute to the content over there for $2 US per month. Let's get on and talk about today's daily dose of business inspiration. Today, I have as the topic overcoming imposter syndrome in business. I want to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, though, and along with a lot of my other thoughts, it might be a little controversial. I think that imposter syndrome is a little bit of a fallacy. I understand where it's come from, and I certainly get why it's been coined as a phrase. But I think it's really, really dangerous that we keep leaning into it or that we lean into it at all. Certainly recognize it, but don't lean on it. Don't lean into it. Don't play on it. We need to be able to deal with it. We need to overcome it. We need to be able to deal with it, acknowledge it, and then move on. So let's talk about what imposter syndrome is, and then my understanding of imposter syndrome anyway, and then my thoughts on how we can get around that. So one of the things is I feel like an imposter. Like, so what is it? It's, you feel like an imposter. You're sitting there, you're running your business, you're putting yourself out there as an expert in your industry, and you don't feel like you are that expert. You feel like you're actually being an imposter. You feel like you're actually playing into it a little and misleading people perhaps, because you might not be as good as you think you are. And that's okay. I actually think that's a pretty human trait to be concerned that we're not as good as we think we are, to be concerned that we might let someone down. Now, if that's why, and this is something about how you go through and acknowledge what your imposter syndrome is. If you're concerned that you're putting yourself out there and you're not going to do a good enough job to help someone, that's okay. That's a very, very human reaction and a very, very human response. I like to think that comes from the fact that we care about doing a good job. We care about helping people do better or succeed themselves. That my imposter syndrome, I do get it occasionally. I know it doesn't look like it. Comes from, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help this person as much as I'd like to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to help this person at all, in fact. That's my imposter syndrome. What I try not to do, though, is lean into that. I actually have to give myself a good, hard, stern talking to. And maybe this is something that will help you. Maybe you've got other ways of dealing with it. But that stern talking to is along the lines of, come on, Charly, you know what you're doing. You have done this 1,000,001 times before. What is it going to hurt you to go and have a chat to this client, find out what it is that they're trying to do, and see if you can help them? What is it going to hurt if at the end of that conversation you say, you know what, I'm not sure I'm the right person to help you. I've got so-and-so over here that you might be able to talk to, or, maybe I'm really sorry, I can't recommend someone that can help you at the moment because this is outside of my understanding, my experience. What's it going to hurt? I'll tell you what, it's not going to hurt at all. What it normally does is people become very thankful. They become very thankful that you're open and upfront about your abilities, about the fact that you may not be able to help them. You're not wasting their time and saying, yeah, I can do it, and then finding out you can't at the end of it. If you're worried that by admitting you can't do something or that you're not going to be as good as something as you want to be, that you're going to lose work because of it, that's a valid concern. I get it. I totally get it. But I am going to say that by being open and upfront and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not sure about this. Let me go and look at it and I'll get back to you with an answer. If the person doesn't want to wait, if your client doesn't want to wait or your potential client doesn't want to wait, that's okay. You will get someone come along to fill that gap for you. You will get someone come along to help you where you are today. You're not going to be stressing, working for someone that is expecting something up here that you don't think you can deliver to, but if you might get someone who can come back to here, which is where you think you can deliver, or maybe you can deliver to just here, it's only a little stretch to get you to here, and there's far less stress about it. I think that's a much better way of doing it. So rather than thinking about, oh, I'm such an imposter and I don't think I can do this, and oh, what if someone sees through the fact that I can't? I would actually say lean into the honesty and integrity side of it. Lean into the maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Maybe I am. I'm not as good as that all that. But I'm going to try, and we'll see where we go. How does that sound? Are you going to come on that journey with me? Just some thoughts about it. The other one that I really like, and I just wanted to sort of bring that one into, I get the brain weasels, the niggles in the back of the head, the voices. No, I don't really hear voices, but those voices that you get that talk to you and say to you, "You're not as good as all that. You're kind of useless, actually. You're gonna fail," and they start talking to you. One of the things that was explained to me from a counsellor I went and spoke to, or a psychologist, just to try and get some coping strategies around a really difficult part of my life. One of the things they said to me was, it's like driving a bus, isn't it? You're the driver, or you're driving a car, and you've got all the passengers in the car, and you've got the one sitting on the back seat saying, turn your indicator on, turn your indicator off, turn left, turn right, stop, you're driving too fast, you're driving too slow. And they've all got this advice for you, and that advice is generally, well, it's annoying, it's noisy, and it's distracting. And one of the best things you can do is say, what I found I could do is to say, hey, listen, I'm driving this car. I know I can drive a car. I know how to drive. I know how to get us there safely. Sit down, put your seatbelt on, and shut up. And also, I'm choosing the music. I'll turn some music on to drown it all out. Maybe that's one way that will help you as well. However, I'd like to know what your coping strategies are. What is one thing, just one thing that you do when you find you're starting to hit that self-doubt, when you find you're concerned about your own self-worth, and it's okay not to feel great about yourself all the time. But when you find you're hitting it, what are some of the things that you do to get yourself over it, or to address it so that you can keep going in your business and keep your business growing and succeeding? Come across to Locals, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. Join the conversation there. If you can, leave a review on this video wherever you're watching it. It does help. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content, and maybe share this video with someone who you think might benefit from it. Apart from that, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.